I wanted to make an extra note on Proverbs chapter 14, one of the verses that we talked about in our series, verse 20. The poor are disliked even by their peers, but the rich have many friends. Now, we did talk about it briefly, but I wanted to suggest a different interpretation. Because when you really take the time, Proverbs is not something you just brush over and listen to someone speak. You have to take the time and read it by yourself alone and meditate on each verse in the Spirit of God. Each verse is a book by itself. It's not something you just read and move on. We read it to you to give you some ground, surface level teaching, but you have to take the time and really meditate on each one in order to fully extract knowledge and wisdom. So think about it. The poor are disliked even by their peers, but the rich have many friends. Now, the interpretation we gave was like, well, that's common sense, right? The rich have fake friends. But think about it this way. What is a poor person and what is rich? Nobody likes a needy person. If you see someone, they're always needy, they're always going to ask you for something. We know those people. They never have their own lunch. They never have snacks. They never bring what they're told to bring. They're always like, oh, I don't have any food. Can you spare me? Can you spot me? Can you give me? Nobody likes that person. It's like, get your own food. Get your own lunch. I cooked mine. Why don't you have yours? I remember in school, I was the kid that always had his food. I took care of myself. I didn't rely on other kids to borrow candy and snacks from them. Whenever we had an activity, I had my sandwiches, I had my water. I was always stocked up. Other kids, not so much, because they already knew, oh, I'm just going to leech on other people. They didn't say that, but that's what they did. And nobody likes that. It's the truth. The poor, right? It doesn't mean they don't have anything at home, just then and there, they're always needy in their mind, in their spirit. Always asking for something. Well, they're disliked even by their peers. But the rich have many friends. Well, who is the rich? The one who never asks you for anything. The one who has an abundance. The one who gives. If I have all the food, I always bring snacks and chocolates and pitas and water. Well, everybody's coming around me. Everybody's hanging around me. I got the food. I'm not asking for anything. Now, if the tables have turned and I will start asking for something, all the pigeons take flight. Because nobody likes being asked for something. But if you have the goods, the people will line up at your door. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing, Most people are fake, they're hypocrites, they're liars, they're deceivers. They will use you for what you have. They don't really care about you. They don't love you. And that's just how people are. But the point being, if you can, if it is within your power, if you have, share. There's nothing really holy about being poor. Don't think you're better than thou, because, there's a lot of this, the Jesuits, right? A vow of poverty, all that mess. That's not what the scripture teaches. The scripture teaches you not to chase wealth, not to pursue ill-gotten gain. Nothing wrong with having money. Many righteous people all throughout history had tremendous wealth. Eov was the wealthiest man. He was the righteous man. Abraham was wealthy. Many others. Solomon, the wealthiest king. Nothing wrong with having wealth. But it's your attitude, it's your spirit, where your heart lies when you do have that wealth. What do you do with it? How do you honor God with it? Supporting the needy and the poor. The Lord gives us to be a conduit. He gives us a talent and then he goes, what do you do with it? And we will give an account on what we did with it. Nothing is for us to spend on the flesh. Well, that's what even Paul said in his letters. Paul was what you call a messianic preacher, right? He was a Pharisee who came to know the Lord and started teaching the gospel, mostly to Gentiles who do not have a background in these teachings. He told them, well, we are given freedom, but not to indulge the flesh, but to serve one another humbly in love. It's always about serving one another. The community of God comes first, obviously, your brothers in the Lord, but then you do an outreach. You go into the world where the Canaanites are to be an example of the love of God, of the glory of God. Now they're probably going to reject you, mock you, laugh at you, attack you. That's a part of it. Well, that's what poor people do. You're trying to help them, and then they come back and rob you in your house. You give them a quarter, they follow you, and then they steal your car. Well, it happens. What can you do? That's life. Just trust in the Lord. The day is coming when justice will be served and all will be made right. So for the time being, do what you're supposed to. Be generous, be kind, be loving. Give to those who ask. Yeshua said, well, if a man wants your shirt, give him your coat also. Kind of a general statement, like give them more what they ask for. Don't be so stingy, don't be so caught up with the stuff. It's just stuff. What is it? It's nothing. Here today, gone tomorrow. Give it to them. You'll get better reward in heaven later. Better spiritual gift. So don't worry about it. In God's work there is profit. And verse 23 says, in all work there is profit. In the work of God there is great profit. So go and do what is just and right. Hallelujah.